Just to introduce Pedro from Lisbon. He's a multidisciplinary postgraduate academic training in design and urbanism. He is an urban designer and consults on municipal and nationwide projects with institutions and also local communities and their approaches to production of informal visual signs regarding graffiti, street art and urban creativity. He's an experienced practitioner and academic who co-organised the Lisbon Street Art and Urban Creativity Conference in Lisbon the last few years, and has started an ongoing journal called Urban Creativity. Over to you, Pedro.
Go on, Dave.
Thank you. Okay, okay. So I will be really brief. My perfect presentation will be like I'm talking, and you stop me and say something. Okay, this is the perfect presentation. So if you want, please just stop me at any time, even now if you want.
Stop.
Go. And yeah, actually, this is then we will have questions and so on. It will be a very different, distinct presentation from camera. It will be very personal, like my personal perspective. It's not like a paper, but actually it touches academics, some academic work I've been doing also, and it touches some stuff I've been doing. So just to give you like some short background, I come from practice. I'm from the first generation of graffiti writers in Lisbon, and from this generation I was like the first one to do a degree, a communication design degree. And this experience that catched like the last decade of the 20th century, like the 90s in Lisbon, was really really relevant for me, really important, and catched like this exponential growth of graffiti writers in Portugal. So my signature was like known somehow, and I had this this capital, and at the same time I had the degree, so I needed to mix both and do something about it. And so this led to an academic path. In the end of the way, I had like a bit bored about only academics, like it's a bit desert. And I've decided to apply some of the stuff, and this is the extreme point of the appliance. It was with the City Council of Lisbon, and I started to do this mediation process that in the eye point, it was this intervention from James and Blue. There's a curiosity about this intervention, or many curiosities, but actually we did this without curatorial access to the City Council. The City Council just said, you have the wall, you have these artists, okay, you will do it with whatever the artists wanted, and they did this, so it was not commissioned. The other thing that made us convinced that this was a good project was that they did this by their own will. So actually they didn't get paid to do this. They just got the opportunity to do this wall and the lifts. Actually, JMUs, they had an exhibition going on in a contemporary art museum in Lisbon at the time. They used it as a promotion for their own exhibition. But at the same time, I don't know if you know the brothers, they've been quite active in painting trains during their stay in Lisbon. So they did this wall, they had an exhibition in the largest contemporary museum, and they did trains, so it's full spectrum. This is the curiosity. Just to give you just to give you one thing, this is the trajectory of the thing. In the end of this project, this was Corona project, it was in 2010-11. We started to realize that the city council was looking at this only in the perspective of culture, or in like an asset that the city could use as tourism machine, as city branding, this kind of dynamics. And we started to jam a bit these ideas of them, and started to do not murals but more performative actions and so on and so forth. In the end, the project ended, and I've went to the academy and like the trenchers, you know, not to the production again because, okay, went not in the direction I was not expected. I was expected, so I went to the trenchers again, and I focused on my own research and about doing something around the research area. In 2014, I organized. When I was doing this, I realized that lots of other people were doing PhDs on this area or about this topic. And in 2013, I've invited as many as I could to a gathering and for doing a conference. And I tried to do it the best way I could in terms of academic labeling. You know, it was like scientific commission, colorful papers, and all the revisions, all the scientific, you know, needed steps. And we did it. We did. It was 3 days in central Lisbon. It was quite interesting. We had like 80 participants from like 20-some countries, and it went quite well. It had a published book. It's this one. And they had these nationalities there that were present. Lots of nationalities. And quite an interesting particularity was that the scientific approaches of these people were quite diverse. So we realized a bit altogether that we were looking at the same topic from different angles, and never there were like an academic stage for doing that at a regular basis. It didn't exist. So the idea was to start doing this in a regular basis and to have a journal, like a scientific journal, to anchor all these activities. So the seminar in 2015, the call was meant already for the journal. We had really nice participations, including from Australia. I don't know if you know this guy. Yeah, you know this guy here.
It's Lachlan, right?
Yeah, it's Lachlan. Exactly. He made a really mind-blowing presentation about data. He was like crunching data from Instagram, and like the most Instagrams that had the most followers, and the gender of the kind of Instagram. Like for instance, the blue are the street artists, the green are the documenters, and the purple are the graffiti writers, like the illegal part of it. So you can see like the documenters are the most that had more likes, and you know it's this kind of work that we encounter in these gatherings. So it's very concrete, measurable, so on and so forth. Actually, I was like doing a run to try to put the journal out in time to this presentation, but the copy editing, the English review, and so on and so forth took too much as we were expecting. So, but until the end of this week, we expect to put these journals up. This is it will be the first volume, and it will be 2 issues. One about the subject of methodologies of research in this topic, and the other will be about places and non-places. And you can see here a bit the people that are here, and this is the second volume, the places and non-places. The scientific commission of the journal that I managed to gather, it was more or less, it was I think 18 person, 18 members of the scientific commission they have PhDs, and some of them made a PhD around this topic. The other have interest and came from different areas, and they are from 12 different countries. So it's quite international, quite demanding, ambitious publication. It's open access until the weekend will be available. So just if you want to have a reminder, just subscribe to the newsletter or something like that, and you'll get it's up. So I'm really in the end part of it. I'm doing the layout and this kind of part. The copy editing is done. So we will have news until next week. And meanwhile, because I was not having too much work, I'm being ironic, okay? I had the challenge that I was not able to resist. That was to apply a concept to a park. And a guy from the city council approached me and said, I have a park here, it has a building inside, it has no concept, the kids are smoking some joints in the front, I don't want that, I want like some movement there and stuff. And I said, okay, I will do some proposal for activating the park in artistic terms. And I decided to use it as a bridge for the practical branch of the conference. So actually, this Upark, it's an urban park, quite a large one, and it has this building inside. It's in the outskirts of Lisbon, it's not central Lisbon. But anyways, it's this hub for knowledge transfer and these kind of activities. My initial idea is to do workshops, like one per month with some recognizable author that will have subscriptions of guys that want to have a session with them, more practical, more theoretical, some, human contact only, and try to organize this during the year of 2016 and see how it goes and go to the direction of small courses and things not at the academic level like university, but at more secondary college things. This is it's in front of the college, so I was preparing all this, and last Friday it was the inauguration of it. I was doing some work around it and trying to work the thing out. And meanwhile, there was like a huge accident in not this Monday, the other Monday. 3 guys were killed painting a train in Portugal. And this caught me like I was not expecting, no one was expecting. So, 2 Spanish young guys, one that had 18 years old and other of 20, and the Portuguese had 18. And it was quite shocking in Portugal. It was like opening new in the news at 8 and stuff. And this shifted all things that were happening within this logic of graffiti, street art, urban art, everything. Everyone stuck to this, what's happening? And everyone was thinking, what's this? And they paint trains, and it was a back jump? What's back jump? And everyone was entering the culture of the train culture, train painting culture, in 2 days. Journalists, and I was lots of journalists were contacting me, saying, "What do you know about this stuff? And tell us, how do they do this and stuff?" I don't know. And I tried to explain lots of stuff, but it was kind of complex. At the same time, I had the inauguration, so it was kind of juggling. But at the same time, the inauguration made particular sense when these kind of things happen, because the place purpose is precisely to share knowledge between the elders, the guys that have more experience, to the guys that don't have so much experience. And if these guys had more follow-up, maybe this thing didn't happen. Hopefully we'll give this step between the academics and the research and all these theoretical, relevant thing, because you need to be credited. But in the end, the contact with the practice is really relevant and interesting for us, and I come from practice, so for me this is quite vital. So, but the thing is starting, so I don't have too much to say, just to show some images, and that exists. In just a final note, I want to share with you my perspective upon the phenomenon itself. And as you know, Martha Cooper was part of the package that was exported from New York in the 70s, right? And this exportation import package then was revisited lots of times in Portugal, right, in the 90s. So it was kind of already a cold meal. But in any case, the source of the catch from Martin Cooper was street play, actually, and graffiti was in between this. So the motivation for us and for kids to do graffiti is to be playful, to be creative on the street. Mm. And I said this sometimes already to several people, but this is kind of interesting words that, the modern planning decided to split the functions of the city everywhere. And the place for play, it's the playground. Everywhere else, you need to be very serious. You cannot play everywhere. For play, it's in the playground. All the rest is, and this doesn't make sense, right? We need to play to survive. We need to play to be creative, to be, to be full human beings. So actually, graffiti comes out of it, and out of this situation. And so, in my perspective, this opportunity to be in the park, and the park has a playground inside. It's a huge opportunity to explore, and to see how can I mix both things. So the ways I'm going to, it's a bit like this. It's like trying to bring out graffiti authors to challenge them to do something for the kids to play with, and try to merge a bit all these, discourses. So this is a bit the way I'm going to in the park. I have the opportunity to do it, and I have the need also to get my hands dirty. I need objects, and I'm a bit fed up about the wall thing and the mural, and So this is a bit the direction I'm doing the most of us. Yeah. And well, it's done. Thank you for that.